Hey guys, Bryce Tubbs here, just trying to share about the common mistakes that bookkeepers make when trying to advertise their businesses and their business. Now, okay, so the most important thing, guys, is if you can start avoiding a lot of mistakes, like everything else gets a heck of a lot easier. Let me switch my camera actually so you can see me a little bit more clearly. Okay, everything gets easier when you can start avoiding so many mistakes. Okay, now generally for me when I was first getting started, I was going at things alone. And like the first 6 months, it was like I was trying to figure things out. I was moving. I was trying to punch the market in the face. I was asking people for, if I could be their accounting slash bookkeeper. I was going into like businesses with like a stack of flyers, brochures. I don't have any of my old brochures now. I think I just cleaned up my office, believe it or not, a couple days ago. So I don't really have a lot of the marketing materials I used to have, like just out kind of on the ground. But if I had known a lot of this stuff 7 years ago when I first got started, it would have been a lot easier for me to make six figures. And even then, like for you guys, like if you're watching this and you want some help going and growing your business, go ahead and click on the link inside of the description below to book a call with me to see if I can help you inside of the Six Figure Firms mentorship program. But anyways, now the most important thing, guys, number one, okay, you got to understand that rejection is a part of success. Okay, most people when they're getting started, especially like most bookkeepers and accountants, they tend to hear the word no and kind of like freeze, stop, or get uncomfortable. And it oftentimes takes them like really, really long to kind of bounce back from the disappointment or from the just kind of rejection. Okay, now you guys could understand like in some cases, like a client or even a potential client will like reject you two or three times before they actually sign up with you. And if you give up after one time, you never talk to them again, like you just miss out on so many opportunities, so many clients. Like for example, like Anna Jean, when she was first selling, she got like a $10,000 cleanup as her first client in the program. And it was funny. On the same day that she sold a $10,000 cleanup, another person said no and said her price was way too expensive because she was trying to charge the person it was about like $1,100 a month, which back at the time, like $1,100 a month clients seemed so high to us. And when we were trying to like show students how to do that, and we're like, wow, it's a really big client. And it was funny because on the one hand, she just sold one for $1,000 a month. And on the other hand, the person said $1,000 a month was too high, right? So most people would be like, just kind of rejected here. But she had the celebration because it was like, cool, we just got this. But then what I told her to do specifically with this one was, hey, you got to follow up I told her every 45 days you need to follow up with the person because one, they said that was too expensive. And then we kind of asked them like, okay, so it's too expensive. Like, so what are you going to do instead? And they said, well, we have a cheaper person that can probably do it. So I'm like, oh, this is a good thing, right? Because when they go with someone cheaper, generally that person, if they're, doing $150 a month, it's probably not the best person because it's probably someone who's like new and they don't really know how to charge, right? Some what happens is you follow up with them every 45 days. You just keep asking, oh, hey, how's the new bookkeeper doing? Hey, how's everything going? How's everything going good? Everything great? And then eventually they're like, no, we need your help. And not only can you charge them that original price, but you can actually charge a cleanup fee because they probably waited 3, 4, 5 months. That means they need to clean up, especially if the person who they tried to, go with instead of you isn't very good and actually screws up the books because then you can just do a cleanup, right? So it's oftentimes even better if they reject you kind of in the beginning because it's just like you just follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, right? And one of the things I always tell my students when we're first getting started is that your job is not necessarily to close clients. Your job is to be able to just stack up opportunities. For example, I'll share this with you. Why am I sharing this with you? Because I love you, right? I love you and I want what's best for you and I want for you to go and, make a good amount of money. And in some cases you might like pay for my program. I'm not saying you won't. In some cases, you might, because you might want to try and like figure this stuff out yourself. I don't know why you'd want to figure out yourself, when you can just have somebody just like hold you by the hand. So some people want to see like, you want to see what 100, actually what $300,000 looks like. Okay, so this was, you should probably take the word onboarding call off. Test a coaching call. Okay, this is what $300,000 looks like. So right here, dude charged about $100 an hour. Client needs 20 hours per week. Has to go meet with this other person because the person in business had something. You got to follow up with this guy because he's paying his current bookkeeper like 4 grand a month, and we're gonna basically replace her with this student's contractors. Next thing, send out these letters, meeting with the 3 construction people from work, speak to this referral partner, um, meet with these 2 leads. This guy has a lot of leads too. Blah 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 blah. That's what this one's really important too. That's what $500,000 in sales looks like. Okay. And our goal is literally just to go and fill this thing up as much as possible. If we can get one full sheet of opportunities that we are pursuing and we're chasing down, that's all the time is money. So a lot of people think that rejection is bad when, like, someone who's actually killing the game. It's like, no, 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 no. You need so many people, because when you're following up with people, like half of your sales should come from following up with people who originally said no. But most people don't understand that. They just hear no and they kind of get scared and they kind of stop. The next thing that next mistake most people make is they don't put themselves out there enough. So not only are they not getting enough rejection, but they're not putting themselves out there enough to get rejected enough, right? And that's a big mistake too, because it's like the more hands you shake, the more money you make. It's very simple, because the only people that are going to give you money are just people. So if you only know like 5, 10, 15 people in your town, and all of them have said no to you, like you have to go and increase the number of people that know you. Like my goal, whenever I'm working, mentoring someone, like our goal is to make sure you have at least 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, and maybe about 500 to about 1,000 followers on Instagram. That's always the goal. Okay, 2,000 people. Now, that is a starter goal. If you can go and get to 10,000 people on LinkedIn, you will never have to worry about money again. Um, but just an easy starter goal, you can make it to about 5 grand a month, 10 grand a month with 1,000 people on LinkedIn alone, if you know how to like pick the right people. But even then, 1,000 people, that's a lot, right? That means you had to go and communicate with 1,000 people. Now, on the internet, that's not a huge amount of people, like, right? Because, like, for example, at one point, I had about 25,000 LinkedIn connections, right? I have a Facebook group of like 18, it's like almost 19,000 people now. The Facebook account, my personal profile had what, like 1,500 friends, right? So like I had like a grand total of like probably about 35, 40,000 people that I could just reach out to at any given point in time. Right. So a thousand people is not a huge amount comparatively to like other people, but it's enough for you to go and like really grow your business to the level that you want to be at. So you just really got to focus that, like, your goal has to be, okay, let's get to 1,000 connections. So just go connect with 1,000 people, connect with 1,000 people. If you do that and you know exactly what to say to get those people on the phone, then that's going to be really, really easy for you to go make money. And then once you get them on the phone, you just got to know how to like, price out the service so you can like maximize your dollar per potential client. Then you have to make sure you have a good sales script, and then just be really easy. And that's the third mistake that most people don't have. Like most people don't have a solid process for actually doing the sales consultation. So what it actually ends up looking like is that they just kind of wing it, right? And winging it is the enemy to the high ticket sales sign up process. You do not want to wing this thing. You want to have the exact same questions every time, the exact same stories that you say, the exact same descriptions of the service, the exact, just everything needs to be exactly the same on your end, especially if it's worked well in the past. So I always give my students what's called like a 6-figure sales flow, because basically just a set of check boxes that you're checking off in the other person's mind in order for them to feel like just be in like total alignment with why they're going to be paying you, 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, $3,000 a month for your accounting and bookkeeping services, right? And once you have that, you literally just say the exact same thing. And it's actually funny because it becomes like a process of you learning how to still slow down with it and not just like go through the motions, because it can be very, very easy, especially when you've done what, 20 consultations, 30 consultations, and they all go exactly the same. It's really kind of fun, right? And a lot of people don't understand, like when you have your sales process down and you know how to charge the correct amount. I mean, you can get to $100,000 per year in about 25 consultations. Some students are able to do it less. Mike got an extra $208,000 per year from one consultation. All right. So some people think you have to do all this work, you have to go get all these people. It's like, no, if you really have the basics down and really know what you're doing, like, dude, you guys can charge so much money for this stuff. I'm just kind of moving my paper off so I can see it. It just really comes down to those fundamentals, those basics, guys. But those are the three main mistakes I see most bookkeepers and accountants like really making when they're trying to grow their business. And like really, that's the only thing that's really stopping most people when they're getting started. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you got some value, please leave a like. And also, if you want some help growing your accounting and bookkeeping business, like you're tired of going through the motions, you're tired of trying to figure this thing out. If you want to go and get the life that you want, being able to have more freedom, more flexibility, more time to travel, more time to stay with your children, more time to really just do what you want, and also make a really great living while doing it, and being in total control of your financial outlook, your financial life, and just having full financial freedom, like go ahead and click the link inside the description to book a call with me. On the call, we're just going to look at, hey, where are you right now? What's really holding you back? If I think it can help, I'll just outline what the process looks like, how you're going to go and reach your goal. And then if you want to work with me inside the mentorship program, we can definitely just do that. If not, no harm, no foul. At least you're going to have a lot of clarity and you're going to know exactly what you need to do to go and grow the business. And if you're not quite ready to speak to me on the phone, like no harm, no foul. I will see you on the next next video. Talk to you soon. Take it easy.